My best friend of 5 years just stabbed me in the back and got with my ex. And she thought I wouldn't find out, but I did. So let's do a story time. Her and I have been best friends off and on. I say off and on because she's always done things that just don't add up. But for these past 2 years, we've been solid. Like, I see her almost every single day, and when we don't see each other, we're always FaceTiming. This just happened, so I'm still freaking out. When I was with my ex, she would always insist on us three hanging out. Like, me and her couldn't hang out alone anymore. She'd always want him to come. And her excuse was, oh, because I want to get to know him and I need to make sure I like who you're with. After the first day that she actually met him, I forgot about this. She went and followed his Instagram, and she didn't even tell me that she was going to follow my boyfriend at the time. Like, she just went ahead and followed him. But why did she only like one picture? A picture of him from 2 years ago. Just of him. So I screenshotted it and sent it to her and just asked her, hey, like, why? Her excuse was, oh my gosh, I was stalking his page late last night to make sure like there was no girls. I was just trying to be a good friend to you, and I must have accidentally liked his selfie. I'm little delusional over here, and I believed her because she was my best friend. Oh, trust me, it's about to get way worse. I would always go to my job at a certain time. Like, my schedule has always been the same since I started there, and my boyfriend at the time would always bring me lunch. He told me he was craving Chipotle and he was gonna bring me Chipotle. He would always show up at the exact time I'd clock out for my lunch, but for some reason that day he was running a little late, and this is where I put pieces together. Him and I would share locations with each other, so I was easily just able to see where he was, but I also shared my locations with my best friend. It was at the same Chipotle that he was going to. So instead of watching his location, I just started watching hers. I saw her location slowly start moving towards my job. So I thought, delusional again, that they're coming to surprise me. Like, he came with her to surprise me. Until I saw her location stop down the street from my job. When my boyfriend showed up without her, I asked him, what were you guys doing together? I know you guys were together. He told me he had no idea what I was talking about and he had not seen her. So he denied it, so I went and asked her. And her story, same thing. I was not with him. I don't know what you're talking about. It's just a coincidence. She claimed that she didn't want to be in our drama and she's just going to turn her locations off permanently with me. I'm not even going to talk about him and I, but just know that we split on bad terms. But of course, when we split up, my best friend was so there for me, so supportive, and was telling me how he was trash and I didn't deserve him, and she knew all along. So how did I figure out that they've been secretly like with each other? Her and I had plans for that, and she told me that she had to cancel because her family's beach house was going to be open and no one was Airbnb-ing it. And she said that they were going to go. Normally, when she'd go to her beach house though, I'd always get invited. And this time she insisted that it's just strictly family. So I decided I'll just take myself to Target and have like a self-care pampering night. And when I was at Target, I heard my name being called from somebody behind me. It was her mom and little brother. Then she asked me, wait, why aren't you at the beach house with my best friend? Then I flipped a Uno reverse. Well, why aren't you at the beach house with my best friend? When I tell you guys how bad my stomach dropped, then her mom says, well, I know she's there because the Ring doorbell keeps like sending me notifications. When you get a gut feeling, you just know. So I asked her, pull that up right now. And sure enough, there they were. My heart is like absolutely shattered by both of them, but just mainly because my best friend could do something like that, and I just feel like actually no, that story was from Reddit, and I would definitely invite that girl to Big Hearts Only Club, which is an all-girl group here in Southern California that gets together to make genuine friendships within women. For any girl who's struggling to make genuine friendships or just finds themselves feeling like their friends could be wishy-washy on a dime, that is why I created Big Hearts Only Club, for the girls and the girls only who support one another, encourage, and uplift, and aren't like that girl and are not like that girl. Big Hearts Only Club on Instagram. I'm gonna go read more Reddit stories.
I'm gonna catch you guys up on like some family drama. A lot of you guys do know that I was babysitting for my sister essentially for free. I did it for a whole year. I went online for my last year of community college for a whole year. I missed out on so many things. Like, I would miss out on doctor's appointments. I would miss out on like just like important things like dentist appointments. I haven't been to the dentist since high school. Just a bunch of dumb things because I felt bad for her, and like obviously I cared for my niece. At the beginning of August, like literally August 1st, I texted my sister and was like, hey, I'm not gonna be able to babysit anymore. And she was like, oh, why? And I was like, I'm starting school, like I'm not gonna have any time. And I also really wanted like a job, and I did get a job, and it's like pretty much gonna make me unavailable for most weekdays. So I told her like, I'm not gonna be able to babysit anymore. Like, this is your notice, girl. Like, this is basically me putting my 2 weeks in, but I'm giving you the courtesy of like knowing a month before so that you can look for daycares or like another babysitter that can hopefully babysit my niece. Because my sister is very much the type of person to do everything last minute and then act like it's not her fault. Oh, that's basically what she did. She waited until like literally like maybe like 3 days before August ended, and she asked my mom like, hey, can you request Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday off from work, like permanently, not just for 1 week, but permanently, so that you can babysit my daughter and or like your grandchild. And my mom was like, okay, I'm gonna see, but I don't think I can because it's gonna be like such short notice, and also like, bitch, I need the money. Like, I need the money for work. Like, I don't know what to tell you. My mom, I genuinely don't think my mom asked, which is fine because I don't think it's my mom's responsibility to like babysit, you know. But it's like, it's frustrating. It's gonna tie into the story later on. But she basically got back to my sister and was like, hey, like my boss said no. And then my sister texted me and was like, hey, like what day do you start school? I told her the 16th of September because like that's when I start school. And then she was like, okay. Conversation ends right there. Okay. She texted me again a couple hours later and she was like, hey, are you gonna need the stroller for tomorrow? And I was like, what? Keep in mind, this is like the last day of August, September, and then it's gonna be September 1st the next day. So she's asking me so I can babysit the beginning of September. I was like, what? Like, I didn't know I was gonna babysit. She was like, yeah, like you don't start school yet. And I was like, where did you ask me if I can babysit? And she was like, can you babysit? And I was like, bro, like you're so annoying. You're genuinely so irritating. You're pissing me off. You're weird as fuck. And I was like, okay, look, I'm gonna be so honest with you. Like, I genuinely, like, I love you. You're my sister, but I'm gonna do this right now. Like, I'm gonna babysit her for that one day. After that, you can't ever ask me for any more favors because every time I ask you for a favor, you're all of a sudden busy. You don't have time. You don't have the money. And it's like completely fine if you don't have the time or money, but it's like you can't keep asking me for favors and acting like I have to do it, or like if you're entitled to my time. I also asked her to pay me if she wanted me to babysit the next day because it was such short notice. And then her man came to drop off the baby the day after. He left, and then my sister's like basically not answering my texts because I'm like texting her, like sending her pictures of, you know, her kid, because I want to update her. Like, I don't mind updating her on how her baby's doing, you know. Like, I'm sending her pictures. I'm asking her like, oh, how did you want me to serve her this meal? Because like she packs her like pre-packed meals. She's not answering me, and I'm like, whatever, like she's mad. Like, I'm just gonna do this on my own and I'm gonna be done with it. Like, I'm not gonna deal with this anymore. Like, this is so weird. The day ends. She comes to pick up my niece and she doesn't say hi to me. She doesn't say bye. She doesn't say thank you for babysitting. She just gets my niece and leaves. And my mom and dad are like, well, crawled up her ass. And then I didn't say anything because I already knew that if I told my parents that I had told her a month prior that I wasn't gonna babysit anymore, suddenly I would be the villain in the situation. So I stayed quiet. And you know what, I was just like, it's not my problem anymore. Like, why the fuck am I gonna like be like all mopey about it? Then the next day comes and my mom and dad come home from work and they're like, where's the baby? Like, I thought you were gonna babysit today. And I was like, no, like I told her like a month ago like that I was gonna stop babysitting like for September. Like, I can't babysit anymore. And then my mom got mad, but when my mom gets mad, she kind of just shuts the fuck up and she doesn't talk to me for like a while. Like, I mean like a month or something. Like, that's what I'm talking about. When my dad gets mad, he starts like accusing me of not loving my family. So that's exactly what he did. He was like, why the fuck are you taking care of your niece? Like, you should like step up for the family. You're not doing enough. You're not bringing enough to the table. And then he was like, me personally, I don't care about money. So if somebody needs me to do them a favor and they're my family, I'm gonna do it for them. I got so irritated, you guys, because I kid you not, he never once told me that like any of this when I was babysitting for free. Like, all of a sudden, now that I don't want to babysit after a year of missing out on school for them, now I'm suddenly a bad guy and all I care about is money. So I literally just told him, I was like, if you don't care about money, then you can babysit your granddaughter. Like, it's still on the table. Like, she needs somebody. She didn't look for any daycares. She's still scrambling to look for a babysitter. So maybe you can step up and be the grandfather that you have to be and go babysit for free. And then once I said that, it suddenly turned into, yeah, but I have bills to pay. Girl, I have bills to pay too. You think that like I don't have a phone bill? And it's like, yeah, I get it, he has rent and all that shit, but bitch, like I have to pay for everything at school. They haven't helped me out one bit. Like, I bought all my notebooks, all my pencils, all my pens, my backpack, all my school supplies basically, and then I still have to do my textbooks, which are a lot. I just checked. And then I have to do transportation because I don't have a car. Like, basically a whole bunch of shit. And yeah, like, yeah, I'm gonna like throw that back at them, because what do you mean you don't care about money, and then suddenly when the offer's up to you to babysit for free, you care about money? So whatever, that happens. My mom and sister are now like fighting, and my sister's kind of like no contact with my mom because my mom said that she couldn't babysit, right? And so now, like a couple of days later, my dad is coming at me again. He comes back from work, and I'm on like laying down on my bed. I'm like on like my phone because I had just gotten back from like this work like training event. So like I got paid, but I had to go, you know what I mean? So I just got back. They didn't know that though. My dad's coming at me and he's like, why aren't you babysitting? And I was like, oh, I had like something to do today, and either way, like I told my sister that I wasn't gonna babysit anymore. And he's basically saying like, I'll never understand why my kids are like this. He was saying that I'm not his daughter, and he was like, I know you're not my daughter because you don't have a good heart like me. I never thought that my kids would turn out like this. And there was a situation where my uncle got arrested recently, and my uncle called my dad, like, because he knew my dad would help him because he's a fucking master manipulator. And my dad was like, you see me, like when your uncle calls me, I bail him out of jail. And he was like, honestly, if any of your siblings went to jail, I don't think you would help them. And I was like, yeah, I wouldn't. Like, you're mad weird for bailing him out of jail. Because he was in jail for something, like, very, like, weird. And he didn't get bailed out. But, like, my dad paid for his lawyer, is what I'm saying. And so I was like, yeah, like, you're mad weird for that. Like, that's fucking weird. And I wouldn't do that for any of my siblings if that was what they did. He was like, you see what I mean? Like, you don't love like I do. And then at this point, I'm fed up. And I start recording him because I'm like, I have to show this to my boyfriend. So, like, he knows, like, what the fuck, like, is happening under my roof. But yeah, that's it. I do have to get going. Bye, guys.
I don't know how some parents just trust anyone with their kids. After you hear the story time, you're never gonna let your kid out of your sight. This is definitely one of those story times that kept me up at night, so you guys already know the drill. If I'm up, you're up. Apparently, it is also a true story, and it happened in Israel. So the story is about a family, so a mom, a husband, and a child who just moved into a new apartment complex. So one day, their downstairs neighbor comes, introduces themselves, and basically just says that they have a child the same age as your child, and says, we're having a birthday party tomorrow, you guys need to come. Obviously, you just moved into a new place, you want to make friends, so she says, yeah, of course, like, we'll be there. Stories like this really scare me because I have 3 nephews. Like, if any of this happened to my nephews, I don't know what I would do. Like, I would crash out and I'd go to jail. The next day comes around and the mom is just cleaning up a little bit before they get ready to go to this party, but the neighbor comes upstairs anyways and says, hey, like, all the kids are downstairs, they can all hear the music from their home, and says, you know, like, let me just take the kid and then you guys take your time and come together. And the mom says okay, and lets her child go with this neighbor that she has no idea, nothing about. So now the husband comes from work and he's like, where's my child? You know, the wife tells him, like, you know, he's downstairs. They took him because all the kids were already there. They can hear the music coming from the neighbors, so they're not thinking much of it at all. I don't think I would either. So now the wife goes downstairs and knocks on the door of the neighbor. She's hearing the music happening inside, but nobody opens the door. And then she just goes back upstairs to come back down with her husband. So now the husband gets ready and they go down together. They're knocking on the door. They're hearing the music. They hear everything, but nobody opens the door. Now they get worried, and the husband's like, yeah, call the police immediately. So now the police come and they're knocking on the door. They hear the music too, but then they bust the door open. They go inside, come to find out nobody lives in that unit. They think it was squatters, but they end up finding their child in the bathroom dead and all of his organs taken out. Like, I did not realize how common people are abducted just for their organs, and especially little kids. Like, it's actually so sickening. It's just so scary to me because you really think there's like good people in this world. You know, I know the mom didn't think nothing of it, and so did the kid. The kid just wanted to go to a birthday party and the mom just wanted to make neighbor friends. Come to find out nobody even lives there, and now your kid is gone. Like, that is so sad. But just as a parent, you can't just let anyone have your kids. Like, you can't trust anyone because people are genuinely sick in this world, and I'm learning that every single day through these stories. I heard this story time and it really reminded me of the story time that happened to the girl in Mexico, and it's just sad to me because it doesn't matter about the age. It can be like an adolescent girl, an old lady, a man, even a child. People will literally take you just for your organs. Like, I think that is so upsetting. Just wanted to share awareness. But if you're a parent, please do not trust just anyone with your kids. Like, no one. Literally no one. Love you.
Bitch, let me tell y'all about the time I started my new job and quit that motherfucker the same day because they had me fucked up. So I was working at a shoe store and I said, I'm sick of these bitches. Let me go find something else. I applied to Aspen Dental for a receptionist position. I got hired on the spot. Okay, I should have knew the job was gonna be some bullshit then when they hired your girl on the spot. Anyway, I get all dressed up and ready for my first day. I will never forget my outfit. And remember this because it's gonna be important. I had on a white shirt from Old Navy that had navy blue polka dots on it, and I had on a pair of navy Calvin Klein slacks, and a pair of black slip-on shoes, and a black jacket. And if I can find a picture from that day, because I know I took pictures, I sent them to my mom because I was mad. I'm gonna insert them bad boys. Okay, bitch, this is what I had on. You see my little Aspen Dental name tag, my polka dot shirt, black jacket, and then my navy blue slacks, just like I said. These are the slip-on shoes that I had on, and you can clearly see that these are slacks, okay? Because I'm not finna sit in no dentist office with no blazer on, bitch. Anyway, I go in on my first day. They giving me, you know, the rundown, show me around the office, all that stuff. I sit down, this girl starts training me. Next thing you know, I feel somebody tapping me on my shoulder. I'm like, who's this? Anyway, she pulling me to the side because she has a complaint. I'm like, okay. She's like, so yeah, they have an issue with your outfit. You're not supposed to be wearing blue jeans in the office. So I'm looking around confused because, bitch, I don't have on blue jeans. I lift up my shirt and I'm like, I show her the little emblem because it has a CK. I'm like, these are slacks. They're just navy blue. And she's like, oh, okay, that's on us. I'll just let them know. And y'all tell me if I'm crazy. So not even 30 minutes later, I get another tap on my shoulder. It's the same girl with another complaint. I'm like, okay. I get up, I walk to the back with her again. And she's like, yeah, so that jacket, you can't wear that jacket in here. You can't wear anything with the logo on it. Mind you, it's a Nike jacket, so it has a little gray check right here. I flip my jacket inside out to where it looks like this. I'm like, okay, cool. I go sit down. I noted to get a black jacket with no logo on it. But after this, I go and I sit back down. We go back to processing insurance, whatever the case may be. And they say, you know, I feel another tap on my shoulder. And I'm just like, okay. I get up, I go to the back with them again. And they're like, yeah, so your makeup, it isn't professional. Like, they just have an issue with the way your makeup is done. Mind you, I had on no makeup. It was my skin, just like this. And I think I had my eyebrows done, and then I had on a pair of lashes. Now, at the time, my lashes was big as fuck. I had lash blindness. I can admit that. But I didn't have on no makeup. So there was nothing for them to have an issue with, bitch. So now the wheels get to turn in my head, and I'm like, I know what you are. I know what y'all are, and I know what y'all are trying to do. I came into this interview looking the exact same way that I look today. You knew what I looked like when you hired me. You knew how my makeup was when you hired me. So I had it made up in my mind. Y'all bitches will never see me again. So they were like, yeah, you ready to go to lunch? We get an hour lunch, blah, blah, blah. You just meet back here. We'll close the office, da, da, da. I'm like, okay, cool. I pack up all my shit at that little desk at that front. I grab all my stuff, folders and everything, and I go home because I live down the street. And when that hour break was over, my phone blowing up. Hey, where are you? Hey, where are you? Da, da, da. I blocked their ass. And I never went back because, girl, fuck y'all.
Story time on how I found out that my best friend and my boyfriend had a thing going on behind my back. Yeah, let's get into it. Disclaimer, she is my ex-best friend. He is my ex-boyfriend. I'm no longer with either, okay? And this might ruffle some feathers because some people may know about it, you know? But I'm going to get right into it because I hate long story times. All right. So we're going to call her Pam. Me and Pam was besties. We was like this. You would not see her without me. Okay, like we was together. Her house was literally up the street from mine. I could look out of my window and see her house. Like we was always together. All right, so fast forward. This is our senior year and we're about to graduate. I didn't want to go to college because I didn't know what I wanted to go to college for. And okay, so 3 months of us graduate and she comes to my house telling me like, hey bro, I'm going to Job Corps. I'm going to this one in Virginia. This is how it works out because I didn't know about it. So she put me on. So I'm like, oh, bro, like, I want to go. Like, she like, bro, it happened so fast. I leave like in 4 days. Like, my flight. I got everything. I got my ticket. Boom, boom, boom. So I was like, all right, let me get on my Zoom. Let me stop playing and sign up. So by the time I'm signing up, she already going. So I'm signing up for things that I want to go for. And the one in Virginia, the one that she was at, took too long to hit me back. So the one in Hazleton, PA, Keystone, that's the Job Corps I end up going to. And I left. So she at Job Corps, I'm at Job Corps, we doing our thing. So we both come home for Christmas break or whatever. So we had I'm going to say 2 weeks. And, when I went at Job Corps, by the way, this is where I met my ex-boyfriend. We were currently together by this point. So on Christmas break, we all came home. We got a hotel and brought New Year's in together. We had so much fun. He met my best friend. I'm like, this is Pam. Pam, this is my ex. Boom, boom, boom. We all locked in. We had a time. We had an amazing time. We brought in the New Year together. Boom. So we ended up going back to school after the break was over. She go back. She ended up coming home because she got pregnant. Well, she was pregnant before she left. That's a whole nother story. But she ended up coming home after she found out she was pregnant and stayed home. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to hold it down. That's going to be my godchild. We already made that known, So, okay, so he graduated. My ex graduated before me. A few months later, I graduated. Boom. After that, he ended up moving to my hometown. So now we live together. And Pam will always come to my house. That was always a thing even before school. So she would always come to my house and, they knew each other. So everything was good. My ex-boyfriend at the time, he was a supplier. Stay with me. He was a supplier. He had purple flowers. Yeah. And he always also had, prescription of things. You know how that go. Me and Pam was hefty on the purple flowers, and my ex at the time would give us the purple flowers. So, yeah, so she would always come over a lot or whatever. So after a few months, they did exchange numbers because, again, he was a supplier and she always wanted to get purple flowers. So, I didn't care. I'm young and gullible at this time. I just didn't care because that was my bestie and I trusted her. So, one time she came over after that, ex had supplies out on the table while we were together. I went to the bathroom really quick. I don't know if he went upstairs, went downstairs or whatever, but I came back out. She ended up having to go. And he told me he likes Pam stole some of my supplies. And it was the supplies that me and her don't take. That's not even our thing. What are you talking about? And then second of all, you're blaming Pam for taking anything. This is my best friend. You can get out. That's how I came about her. There's nothing you could tell me about her. I didn't play about her. So he I'm telling you, it was right here in this spot. I know, you know what I'm saying? He was very calculated with things. That's one thing I can say. So I'm like, you really standing on this? You really feel we got into a whole argument because I feel I know my bestie, she's not into that. We don't even take that. We stick to the purple flowers. But things could have changed because, again, she went to Job Corps for months. She was there for a year, some change. You know what I'm saying? Not even a year because she had to come home, but for a minute. And things could have changed while you was away from me, So, yeah, I'm like, okay, you really standing on this. I'm going to call Pam. Call Pam. I'm like, bro, why is he trying to convince me that you took some supplies? And it's the supplies we don't even hear. She was like, bro, you know me. Come on now. What do I look like? I will come over there right now. Da, da, da. So she ain't never come that day, though. She ain't never come. 2 days later, she did come over. He was out working. He was out working with his supplies. And, me and her, we talking about it or whatever, but we let it go because I'm like, I know her. I ain't even about to trip over this, whatever. It's already going anyway. So she came over that day. She left. Later on, he came home and was like, so my supplies is back in my spot. And I'm like, what? Now I know he not tripping because when we argued about it, it wasn't in that spot. I knew, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, that's weird. So I told her, I'm like, it's funny that it popped back up. And I was like, bro, I'm not even trying to call you to feel like I'm accusing you of this, but it's just weird. So now after all of this, it's back up. I'm like, all right, I can't pinpoint that it was you for a fact. So I'm not even about to do that. So as time go on, he's side-eyeing her. He don't like her now. He no, I don't fool with her. I don't bang with her. Cool. I'm like, but I'm not going to stop talking to her. That's my best friend. Whatever. So one day me and him got into an argument. And this is when I found out the tea. Me and him argued so bad. Come back for part 2. Part 2 was where it ended. So part 2 on how my best friend and my boyfriend were messing around behind my back. So keep in mind, remember I told y'all she left Job Corps and because she was pregnant. Fast forward, she ended up having a baby. Now, that's a whole different ball game. But she ended up messing with this dude that wanted to take care of her and her baby because he liked her so much that he wanted to just be in their lives. And she was in survival mode because the father was not in the child's life at all. So, and he was Mexican. Mind you, he lived across the street from me. I knew him. I knew his family. My brother went to prom with his sister and them. Yeah. So I'm like, don't do that, bro. Like, don't do that to him because he's really going to be in love. What if he get crazy and you don't even really like him? Yada, yada, yada. Like, whatever. I understood the situation. Whatever. So she dealing with him. So now she's across the street. We see her all the time. So, like I said, me and my ex got into this heated argument. And me and her, like, we got into something like the week before, but it wasn't nothing crazy. Like, we just wasn't talking for a little bit. Like, it wasn't nothing crazy. It's something that we always did. Me and him get into it real bad, though. We arguing so bad, and he hit me with it. That's why Pam on my body. That's why Pam on me. And I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, y'all, I was so mad. I'm like, you just talking crazy like you always do, because we was just toxic when we got into our argument. So I'm just thinking he talking, like, running his mouth. Nah, he was that serious. And then he pulled up Snapchat. This is when Snapchat was, like, really big and popping at the time. So I'm like, Snap? Like, and then I seen her name. I knew this was her Snap. But I'm like, when did y'all follow each other on Snap? But you know how you can follow each other when y'all have each other's number. Whatever. He went to the Snap and then he pulled his phone back because now his heart dropped. Because now he realized what he's doing. So I'm like, no. I see a scroll, like, of messages. Bro, like, I'm like, no, go back. He was not trying to go back. I snatched that phone and it was right at the messages. And my heart was shattered at the things that I've seen. Like, heart emojis and flirting and the messages, and oh my god, like, that was my first, like, friendship heartbreak that I knew we would never ever come back from, because of the simple fact that I wouldn't even look at a man that you ever even talked to for 2 seconds. And you did this to me. Like, we knew each other before. Like, you did this to me. Mind you, me and her going at it. Like, she's not answering none of my phone calls. Like, nothing. You would think that I would be crying over him. Like, I didn't even care about him at all, y'all. I couldn't believe that I was actually going through that with a friend. Like, I've heard stories about stuff like this all the time. She was on him the whole time, but I knew it. I'm just like, bro, like, you was in survival mode. You knew how much I liked and loved this man. Like, you see me so happy. But yeah, y'all, like, to this day, I'm just like, wow. You know, I don't care no more because I've evolved. I'm grown now. Like, I was grown then. Like, I was early 20s then. But we've never, ever talked after that. Like, she know that she can't never talk to me after that. Like, I forgive her now. I'm a child of God. You feel me? Like, things happen. It is what it is. But forgiveness does not mean reconnection, babe. You know what I'm saying? And that, after that day, I realized everything that my mom told me about friends and women, that's when it hit. Like, my mom never lied to me. Like, you lucky to get one good friend in this lifetime. Like, don't never bring these women around your men. Don't never be too comfortable around, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all them talks, like, it hit that day. And I'm just like, I can't believe I'm the one going through this, y'all. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, by the way, she was a Gemini. He was a Libra. I'm an Aquarius. So, yeah. It gets deeper than that, though, too. But that sums up the story, y'all. Don't have these women around your man. And make sure the man that's around you is really for you.